I started following Jesus when I was just a little girl. I was 5 or 6 years old. I grew up in church, ended up going to a Bible college not far from where Joe went to school. Met my husband there, got married, had 4 kids. We were very involved in our church. We volunteered in a lot of different ways, and we were there pretty much every time the door opened. But it was kind of an easy, check the boxes Christian life. 16 years ago, we landed at Life Center, and that was the first time I heard Joe talk about find, tell, bring. And I realized that this easy Christian life had kind of made my circle of friends really small, and I knew a lot of people that knew Jesus, but I didn't know anybody to find and tell. So I wanted to find a volunteer opportunity to expand that circle. And the first thing I did was through the Union Gospel Mission. I went to their thrift store and started teaching a Bible study to some ladies that were in the work release program. And these were ladies that were just getting out of prison and wanting to restart their lives, and I was petrified the first day I showed up. My hands literally were shaking on the steering wheel. And I just felt like, what did I have to offer these ladies? And come to find out, I didn't have a lot to offer, but they had a lot to offer me. And I grew a lot through that experience. I think probably the biggest thing that changed in my walk with Jesus happened during that time. And I realized that this easy life was not what God had in mind. He wanted me to be out loving people and showing them who Jesus was. So through that experience, that led to a different one, and I started working in the West Central neighborhood, and I started just hanging out with these people, bringing food and clothing and trying to meet their needs. And during that time, I met this family, and my husband and I just fell in love with them. And we just determined that we were going to do life with these guys. So they got in a little bit of trouble with CPS, and they needed somebody to watch their kids, foster their kids. So I went to court with them one day, and the judge asked who would take the kids, and I raised my hand and I said we would. And then I called my husband and told him. And there were 4 of them, and they came to live at our home with us, and they're back home with their family now, but over the years we've stayed involved with them, and especially the youngest one, Victoria. She's sitting down in the front row right over there. She comes to church with me almost every Sunday, and she's been to kids camp a couple times now, and through all of that, she made her own decision to follow Jesus, and yeah. Woo! That's worth talking for. And 2 years ago on Easter, I got to baptize her on Easter Sunday morning.
That's cool.
And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And I made it through all these services without crying, but now I'm feeling teary-eyed about it. Anyway, I think that one of the things that the Lord has taught me through all of this is that he doesn't look down at me and say, you're a high-mileage unit, you've done enough, go rest. He really wants me to love people the way that he asks me to. And he has some things that he wants me in particular to do that no one else can. And I just want to slide into heaven kind of all used up for him and hear him say, well done.
Ooh, baby, that's good. That's good. Okay, I got a question for you, though. So you go to court. Judge says, who's going to take these 4 kids? You raise your hand, said, we will. Then you called Don. And what did he say?
He said, of course we will.
Both of you.
He was a very good man.
He was a saint.
Yeah.
Yes, and so are you.
Thank
I
you.
admire you, Lori. Let's tell Lori thanks. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.